required a cultural change in terms of how we looked at it. And then the other piece of that is to have consistency in coaching and teaching throughout the system. Again, common sense. If one guy is teaching you how to slice in the minor leagues, and the other guy is teaching you how to hook it, a golf analogy, well, you're going to get confused by the time you get up to AAA or the major leagues. So, again, a cultural change that we began implementing in 2004, 2005 to support additional investment in the minor league system. Next slide, please. And I think some of the results have begun to show now this year, where instead of just filling a spot that we couldn't fill in the free agent market, it's now we're talking about having kids come up through the system who actually, figure to be really good major league players. Team operating design was interesting. I just looked at this data. I got it compiled recently. I just was curious because we were getting beat up all over the place on how cheap we are on payroll and this and that. People fixated on it. And yet, here we are, over time, matching our revenues from a ranking standpoint with our payroll. And that is even more remarkable when you consider the fact that we financed our own ballpark. Because that doesn't obviously account for any unusual expenses what club might have, or outlier expenses or embedded expenses that we have having financed our own ballpark. So I think that's really speaks to the commitment we've made to the franchise in terms of payroll. I wish we could have achieved the results on the field that we have with a much lower payroll. I mean, frankly, that would be the goal. But it's just, very tough. It's a very competitive industry, and so we've pushed Major League payroll as part of our strategy. And I think it's shown itself over time on the field and the results. Next slide. There will be about 1,000 that will go on sale to the public. It'll just be a lottery system through the internet. But between what MLB requires for all of their people that fly in, and then our season ticket holders, who we obviously want to take care of first, there just isn't a big discretionary amount beyond that. But we will definitely have it on sale for the public, but it'll be pretty small. An approach with the Mets that's very aggressive on spending, the payroll and everything else. They've also invested in minor league system player development, but they've also spent to their means. And I think what I'd like to see in the industry is across the board spending to your means, and that's what we've done. I mean, we've been aggressive. I think other clubs would say, I can't believe you're getting beat up about payroll. You're right there on payroll rank and revenue rank, and yet you finish your own ballpark. So I think the teams that do that consistently over time are going to be successful if they're investing in their minor league system as well.